Halfway through the NHL season, we think some teams start taking some big swing for a playoff push. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Pucked Up Podcast. I am Chris. Joined with me, as always, is D and Maul. You guys, we are halfway through the year.
Insane. That happened quick.
Where did it go? For sure.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It went somewhere, though.
For sure,
think about it,
somewhere.
like,
For some of us,
halfway through
better
the
places
season.
than others.
Right. Well, it's like we're halfway through the season. We're 2 weeks away from the Olympics.
Yeah,
The
we
hell?
are
Yeah.
we are close. And if you
That's
want to
gonna be
hear
stressing.
what we thought of the teams play so far this year, make sure you check out the Weekend Whistle episode that was dropped a couple days ago. It went in. It was a lot of work when that, and I think it came out really good. So,
Mhm.
before we get started, I have a trivia question for you, goobers.
Goobers.
Ooh, goobers. In 1975, the Philadelphia Flyers won their second Stanley Cup. This one marked the first time that two expansion teams from the post-Original Six era met in the finals. Who did they defeat? And you know what? I'll even give
Mm.
you multiple choice.
Okay.
Alrighty. The New York Islanders, St. Louis Blues, Buffalo Sabres, or the LA Kings?
Okay.
It's a tricky one.
It is, in fact, a tricky one.
Well, not if you were here last week, because then you know who the expansion teams were. So then you can narrow it
Yes.
down. So I have a leg up on you, Maul.
I just Googled it. I'm kidding.
Maul.
I'm kidding. I didn't.
I will drive up there. It'll take me a really long time, but I will drive up there and kick your ass, okay?
Just to kick you right in the head and ass.
It's
Yeah.
a 10-hour drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done
Yeah,
it.
we
He
s-
knows.
Yeah.
Just a 10-hour.
Well, to kick things off, D, let me throw it over to you. You can give us a little bit of that
Yeah.
PWHL update.
I sure can. We have yet another suspension in the PWHL. Abby Roque of Montreal's Victoire has been suspended for 1 game for an illegal check to the head, which, like, again, by the way, y'all, I just want to remind you, all checks to the head are illegal.
Yes, in both
So
men and women's hockey. Yeah, you
you
can't do
cannot
that.
check someone to the head. So
Yeah.
maybe don't. So yeah, she is suspended for a single game, which again, when we talk about the girls' schedule versus the guys' schedule, I think it would be more games if they had more games available to suspend people for.
Probably.
So let's keep watching and pouring our numbers in there, because the only way that they get more games is by our viewership, which, speaking of viewership, perfect segue. PWHL attendance is up 18% through 44 games thus far this season. So they've already welcomed over 100,000 fans to their 11 games in January, representing an average attendance of 9,476, the highest monthly average in league history. Which, like, again, the league isn't that long. But it's still great that they're setting record after record every time they come out. So it's incredible. There's 44 games so far in the 2025-2026 season. Total attendance is 377,456 with a per game average of 8,579, which is an 18% increase over last year's first 44, which actually, like, if you're talking marketing stats, 18% is a pretty big jump to make in a single year in terms of attendance. Now, we don't have the viewership records, but if attendance is up that much, and you have to pay to go there versus watching it for free on YouTube, you can understandably guess that viewership is also up for this market as well. So we continue to encourage you all to watch for free on YouTube. And if there is a game coming to your area, check out tickets online, see if you can get them. I can almost guarantee that the ticket prices are cheaper than seeing your local men's team, because that's just how things
Those
work.
tickets are
Unfortunately.
mortgage payments unless you're in Ohio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
then you
true.
can
We
go
did
see a
look it
Blue
up.
Jackets game for free, almost.
So,
They'll pay you
wow.
to sit there.
They will probably pay you, especially
At
this
this
season.
point, maybe. Yeah. So that is the updates I have this week for the PWHL.
Well, excellent. Well, are you eating chili right now?
Oh yeah, I am.
They're
Just
like,
cornbread.
what are you eating?
I thought it was
Oh,
You're
yeah.
just like,
Nope.
no, I saw it was that red color. And I was like, is this guy eating chili?
Hell yeah, I am. I'm really disappointed. There's not an opportunity for a second bowl. This shit's great. My wife spoils me. Okay.
Your wife does spoil you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's a very nice lady.
So
She's
she should do what we do and just make a giant crock pot full of chili.
Ooh.
Can you get the pot, or is it so? Hold on, I'll show you the pot that we cook it in. Okay.
God.
Just I'm telling you, it's worth it. I bought it specifically for chili. While we're waiting on that, Dee, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did any of the women in the PWHL get drafted into the Olympics?
So you
I
didn't
don't think
see
I've seen anything on that.
last week's episode. Yeah, we definitely did.
We literally
I
talked about it
believe
last week.
there was, if I
Yeah?
remember
Okay.
right, it was 16 different players that were drafted. I can double check though.
I haven't had a chance to watch the episode, but
Yeah, that's fine. I have to scroll.
Chris,
Okay, yeah. All
That's a
right.
pretty big pot.
Damn, you guys
Very-
went through all that chili already?
I mean, it's been like
Sunday.
we made it
Oh,
Sunday.
I thought you made that today. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong on the total number because it is 23 PWHL players selected for the Canadian Olympic women's ice hockey team. So that
Wow.
isn't even all of the elections.
That's insane. So the entire Canadian and I'm assuming the entire US team are both probably
Yeah.
PWHL players.
So it was 16 team members for USA. Sorry,
Okay.
That's why 16 was stuck in my head. So 23 for Team Canada, 16 for Team USA, and then other countries that are represented are Finland, Sweden, Germany, Switzerland, and Czechia, with like anywhere from 4 to 1 players for any of those countries.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Just
So-
wait the next Olympics. Who's to say that we aren't looking at for the US, Canada, and Sweden to be all, PWHL players?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna say a lot. So
Well, Maul,
Thanks for the tangent,
my
appreciate
friend.
it.
I heard we had a coaching change.
Yeah. Which I feel kind of came out of nowhere, especially given the time frame of where the season is right now.
mhm.
But Dean Evanson was fired as the coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets on Monday and replaced by the legendary Rick Browness, who came out of retirement to temporarily coach the team. That gentleman is 70 years old, and he did go out on retirement because his wife was sick. So,
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Evanson, 61, he was in his second season with the Blue Jackets. They're currently 19-7, who are, to no surprise, last in the Eastern Conference. He went from 59-52-16 in 127 games after being hired as by Columbus on January 2nd of 2024. The assistant Steve McCarthy was also fired. So they swept the whole coaching staff,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
which is wild.
Yeah.
This season has been frustrating for all of us. The bottom of the line is we're not performing at a level that meets our expectations. We all share that responsibility, me included. And while this was not a decision that was made lightly, it is one that needed to be made at this time. The Blue Jacket general manager Don Waddle said. Dean did a tremendous job last year under extremely difficult circumstances, and I thank him for that. But I also want to thank Steve for his commitment to our club over the past 5 years. So a little bit of history with Evanson on the team. A little bit more than a month after he was stepped up into the role as the coach. Star forward Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew died on August 29th while riding their bicycles. So he kind of went into the organization at probably one of the darkest times in the
worst
history
times.
of the franchise.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's something to be said about that, because like something like that is so devastating.
hmm
Do you guys think that that still affects the team? Because I know that, I mean, we've talked about it. They still have his jersey up. They still do
hmm
recognition for him. I mean, I think they still have his locker empty.
As
It's
far
kind
as
of
I'm
like
aware,
a
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
a stand-in memorial for him. Like, do you think that that kind of like took the wind out of their sails and they just haven't been able to bounce back from that?
I think that I think you don't ever get over that, right? You know,
Yeah.
Johnny became really close with everyone really fast.
Mhm.
And obviously we know off the ice what everyone says his impact as a human being was. So I think that that never goes away necessarily. I think last year that was a driving force. I think this year it's less of a thing comparative to other major issues that that team has.
Right.
But I mean, puts Dean Evison in a really tough position because you have to try to lead a team through tragedy. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
listen, they almost made magic happen last year. They almost made the playoffs. So
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think that this year, so like last year, I think, and I don't want to come off sounding callous when I say this. I think last year, a lot of what we saw was them trying to find ways to navigate that grief in real time. I feel like this year they have navigated it, and at this point, there's a lot of pressure from outside forces being like, you can't ever forget him. And it's like
Right.
we don't intend to, but at the same time, we can't live in a monument of grief. I feel this way. Like
right.
one of my cousins was murdered at like 17 years old,
Jeez.
and his parents kept his bedroom as like a shrine to him the entire time. Meanwhile, he had a little brother that shared that bedroom with him, so he felt like he couldn't touch anything in that room because it would mess up the way that his parents wanted to honor their dead son. And so
Right.
living in that caused a lot of issues because it felt like you can't do anything to overshadow or change what happened, and the impact of what happened. And so I feel like that's kind of how I'm seeing the Columbus Blue Jackets right now. And that's not to say that like we don't want to see the Gaudreaus with former teammates and everything like that. But it definitely feels to me like they're allowing a specter to live in the locker room. And while it was motivating at first, now it just feels heavy. And I do think that that has made an impact to the team this year. I think that is why they're a little bit more stagnant. Like they had a fire under them last year to prove and to do something for Johnny. It didn't happen, and now it's just like hanging over them. That's
Oh,
kind of
for
how
sure.
I'm seeing it.
No, absolutely. And you know, that's a very valid point. And I feel that if you look at it from that angle, like that makes sense. Like,
Mhm.
at what point is it time to move forward?
Mhm.
Right.
You know, a little history on Brownness. He is his total record is 310, 408, 37 with 48 ties in 803 games, and as an NHL head coach with the Jets, Stars, Phoenix Coyotes, New York Islanders, Ottawa Senators, and Boston Bruins. So this man has been around the organization.
Mhm.
He's quoted. I appreciate the opportunity to come to Columbus because it's a good organization with good people, and I think this team. I think this is a team that I think I can help improve. Brown has said. I'm thankful for Don and the Blue Jackets president Mike Priest, and I'm really excited to work with our players and coaching staff to get them to where I want to go. The Blues defenseman Zach Rensky said that coaching change was a signal that Waddle still had faith in them, and the ability to turn things around. I just feel like this tells the guys that he still believes in us and believes in the season, and we're getting something out of it. Rensky said. So the message is clear to the players and how we feel about it. So at least the players are taking it, good.
Mhm.
Which, to be fair, you said it at the start of the article. This happens all the time.
Yeah.
This is one of those sports where you don't perform, you get let go as the head coach because that's the reality of it. There's
Yeah.
no loyalty when it comes to coaching. If you can't produce numbers, I mean,
But when the
um,
league is as close as it is, it has to
Mhm.
be that way because
right,
Columbus is the only team in the Eastern Conference that has a record below 500. And
right,
like
Yeah.
Rick Bowness is a great person to bring in because 4 of the last 5 seasons he coached, he made the playoffs and
yep,
lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. Also, the fact that he coached with he coached both Winnipeg Jets organizations is kind of dope.
Right.
That's kind of funny.
So he was the Winnipeg Jets coach from 2022 to 2024, leading them to a 98-57-9 record with 164 games and back-to-back playoff appearances. Prior to that, he spent 2+ seasons with the Stars, and he got the Stars to advance to the Stanley Cup final in 2020 when they unfortunately lost to the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 6. So he has the potential, he has the power, he has the resume. Like, he's going to be a good candidate for a replacement coach. I do laugh, though, because when I first saw him, have you guys ever seen the movie Strange Brew?
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks like the brother from Strange Brew, and I was like, damn, he got old.
Which Mackenzie, Bob or Doug?
Not the one that was in Honey, I Shrunk
Not
the
Rick
Kids.
Moranis?
Yeah.
Not Rick Moranis, the other one.
Yeah, the other guy.
I saw
Yeah.
him
He
on-
does too.
I was
funny.
like, wait a second. I was like, wasn't he in Strange
Hold
Brews?
on.
Dude, I need to watch that movie. That movie is incredible. One of the best Canadian films ever made.
I will 100% watch it with you because I love the movie. But yeah, anyway, he looks just like him. So I kind of got a chuckle at it. I had to like do a double take. I was like, holy shit. Isn't he the guy from
Yeah.
Strange Brew?
You're talking about Dave Thomas. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Just like him, just obviously older. So,
yeah.
Well,
yeah, I mean,
good luck.
I think it's
Good luck
crazy.
to Rick Bowness and the
Yeah.
Yeah,
team.
I mean, I think it's crazy because, again, I mean, we're going into a 2-week break period. Like, it's kind of a weird time to just say, hey, we're going to fire you 2 weeks before a break.
I guess do it now.
They clearly didn't
Yeah.
want to pay him to have vacation.
Well, he's got a vacation now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not
Although
paid.
with the NHL, he'll be hired by somebody else in like 4
Oh.
months. So just give it a minute. He'll be fine.
Well,
Well, the way the Ducks are
speaking
going,
of
they may
the-
need a coach.
we need more than that. Speaking of the NHL, they had a nice them and the NHLPA had a nice little visit to Milan. You want to talk about that, Dee?
Yeah, absolutely. So they went over there to test the new rink as it's still being built. It's not quite done yet. So one of the things that they have not yet accomplished is the fucking locker rooms, which I'm like, bruh, are they just gonna like change outside? How is this gonna work? Y'all need to get
And
on
their-
this shit. Again, we have 2
Their
weeks.
practice facility is a really nice
Their
greenhouse.
practice.
Trailers. They're
I
going
don't even know if it is a really nice greenhouse, technically speaking.
It's a greenhouse.
It is a greenhouse. Nice is not exactly an adjective I would use necessarily. They also have decided that because they're so short on time, they are just going to cut concessions and have food trucks outside. So people will have to like physically leave the building, go to the food truck, and come back in anytime they get a little hungry
Jesus
in the game
Christ.
because like that is how far behind. Also, I was dying laughing because they did a full game, right? There was a small issue. I think it's kind of a worrisome issue. Chris disagrees with me. Where a hole opened up in the ice mid-game, and then they had to like fill it. And Chris was like, it was a freak accident. And I was like, to me, freak accident says we don't know what caused this, which to me says we don't know if it's going to happen again. But fingers
Oh, well,
crossed.
definitely.
Which like makes me nervous. For the most part, everyone who was on the ice said like it's skated fine, whatever. But what made me laugh the most is the pictures of from the audience. Are like everywhere you looked, you had a great view of the ice. However, the jumbotron is like
It's
big.
so small.
It's so small in comparison to the venue. It is laughable because it's like, what are you going to put up there? Because that's not for instant replay. For seeing like what actually happened. Fans aren't going to be able to see shit except for the score because it's so small that that's realistically all you can put on there. And it's also not like from the pictures I saw of it, it's not a super high end sign either. Like the jumbotron, it's
it's
somewhat
basically-
outdated.
It's basically four big screen TVs from 2011.
Yeah.
Go to your
essentially.
local little field, baseball field,
Uh-huh.
and go look at the tiny screen they have way in the outfield. That's what they're giving. the
Essentially, what it is.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's
That's what they're
so
giving
laughable.
Do you think
and
they're
I'm
gonna hand
like-
out binoculars to everyone, like complimentary binoculars?
Honestly.
Well, no, because it's not that big of an arena, so like you'll have a good view. It's just
you'll have a good view.
don't try looking at the fucking jumbotron because it's not you're
Yeah.
not going to see anything. I just
No, if
again
you're trying to see like a moment of did the puck cross the line or not, you just wait for the refs to tell you because you're not going to be able to see shit on that screen.
I just want to know why it took so fucking long. Like,
Yeah.
why? Why are we
So-
in this situation?
Here's the funny thing I want to point out. Me and my manager were talking about this the other day because he's a huge sport fan. Not so much hockey, but he loves football. But he was
What
like,
a loser.
I know. He was like, he brought up a very valid point though. He goes, don't we know more than 4 years in advance who's hosting it? I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm curious on how far we know. We know the next two
Two.
places that are hosting the
Mhm.
Winter Olympics, which means they had 12 fucking years to plan this.
Yeah,
Not
but
only
it takes
that-
so long to get things pushed through the government. So like they had to get the space outside of Milan zoned to be able to build this, and so like all that paperwork. And so it's really the Italian government that is largely at fault because it took them so fucking long, and it took them so long to find contractors who also apparently can't do their goddamn job.
Yeah. I mean, this is such a shit show, and I bet you how much you want to bet that the Winter Olympics never goes back to Italy?
Why?
Yeah.
They already have a
Why would
facility
they?
built.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they'll have to.
Come again.
Thankfully, when it's held in Sweden, well, they have
Yeah.
a very prominent ice hockey league, and
Hmm.
we won't have this problem because they're just gonna have it available.
Well, so the
Yeah.
next Winter Olympics is going to be in France. It's going to be in the French Alps.
Oh yes, and they do, I believe, already have an arena up there.
And then do you know where it goes after that?
Is that Sweden?
Salt Lake City. It's going to be in the United States.
Oh, all right, perfect. Then we already have the fucking Delta Center that they just plug. Boom, good.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So here's the thing. The only issue that I foresee, obviously, so if you guys want some like consultant advice, like let us know. The Utah Jazz and the Utah Mammoths play in the same fucking building.
Yeah.
So how are you going to do?
We just schedule the
basketball at the
Jazz
same
on
time.
away games
No. Because doesn't the Olympics have basketball?
for summer.
Not in the winter.
Oh, it's in the summer?
Summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Summer
I figured
sport.
that'd be a winter one.
Mm-mm.
No, it's hockey is exclusively ice hockey is exclusively played in the winter to where basketball can be year round.
I don't really
Yeah.
watch the Summer Olympics. They're kind of boring
Yeah.
to me. I'm more of a nice guy.
Dude, gymnastics and beach volleyball. What are you missing?
Swimming.
I mean,
Swimming.
I love
skiing,
watching basketball
snowboarding,
because they fuck everybody up.
bowling, hockey.
So they are saying that they think it's going to be done in time. They are, I mean, there's like 3 games happening a day on this ice, right? So they're like, we're all in, we're pot committed at this point. One NHL told ESPN because they've all put in a shit ton of money. The NHL has put in a shit ton of money to get this thing across the finish line. But there's also the rink was originally planned to seat 14,000, but is now aimed at 11,800. So that means that anyone that was planning to go and get tickets to any of the ice hockey games there in Milan are going to be sadly disappointed because that's about 3,000 less,
That's insane.
which sucks. Yeah.
I
Or
think
it's
more people are
2,200
gonna-
less, I should say.
I feel like more people are going to go there now, specifically to see the joke of an arena.
Yeah.
Than to watch the sports. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I was there when the arena sucked.
Yeah. The IIHF president, Luke Tardif, told reporters that he was pleased with how the ice held up in the third period of the third game of the day at the test event, saying his group would go home happy and confident. There's no reason the NHL will not come. We would want to make sure about the quality of the ice, the security for the players, doesn't matter where they come from. So now I can say we're ready for the competition, which again is just so interesting because there was a hole in the ice that needed to be fixed during one of those games of the 3 throughout the day. So I guess whatever patchwork they did, it held up for the rest of the day. But it did receive decent reviews, according to this article from ESPN. So we'll see. Gary Bettman said Monday there are still challenges because the building is still under construction and the ice is new. We've been assured that, or we expect that everything that needs to be done in a timely basis will get done. But as you know, it's not our event. We're invited guests, but we've offered to help and consult and advise as they feel they need and would be appropriate because we do have a little bit of expertise in this area. So we'll see. Right now, to me, it is screaming shit show. Again, the women's contests start on February 5th. That is just like 2.5 weeks from now. Men's games don't start until the 11th, so they have 3 to get their shit together for the men's game. But if the women pull out, I don't see why the men are going to be like, well, that extra week will be fine. We'll see. I think they're going to go through with it. It's just we're going to see what this ends up meaning for the players when they get there. I cannot wait for one of these mouthy players to come back and be like, actually, that sucked ass, because they're going to. You know what I mean? They're going to wait till it's all done, and they're going to be like, no, Milan was like the worst.
We'll hear
Because
from
right
Matt
now
and
it seems
Brady
pretty bad.
first.
Yeah, 100%.
100% and
That's
fucking
exactly who I meant by the mouthy
Marshy.
ones.
Yeah,
Mark, she was going to say something.
Marshy
Do you-
100%
Or she
will
might
say
say
something.
something during the tournament.
During the
We'll see.
games.
While scoring a goal. This rig
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
This rig sucks, bang top shelf. It's like, all right, fuck
Yeah.
us, I guess.
Biz will be over there doing an interview, and he'd be like, yeah, this sucks almost as much as your hairline, bud. It'll be
There's
The
something like
greatest,
that.
again, the greatest rivalry in hockey is Paul Bissonnette versus Brad Marchand. There is nothing, there is genuinely nothing better. And
I don't know.
Oh my god.
I think Biz versus Bowie might be better. That
Biz-
was pure entertainment. I might have to
Oh
rank
my
that higher, but like
God.
just marginally, because Bowie is a
Biz-
chaos agent way more so
Paul-
than Brad is.
Paul Bissonnette, I know you'll probably never see this, but the sport of hockey is better because you're in it. Like, hands down. Him and PK Subban, you guys, the sport is better because y'all are in this. Well, I think that brings us to our offside opinion, and Maul, my dear friend. That's your
So,
turn.
This kind of goes hand in hand with Columbus Fire and their coach, but with the trade line being 2 months away, because it officially ends, I think, March 6th.
March 5th or 6th, yeah, I believe.
Right around that time. I can't remember the exact date. I looked at it the other day. And there's going to be a trade freeze during the Olympics. Do we expect to see some huge trades before or after the Olympics? Do you think they're going to send the players to the Olympics knowing that they don't get to come home to their team? Or are they going to surprise them when they come back?
I think, and this is a personal opinion, as always, I think the smarter move is to do all trades before, because of one of 2 reasons. One, if you are trading for a player that is not Olympic bound, that gives them 2 weeks to relocate, to get in with the team, to get
Yeah, for
settled. And number 2, if they are on the Olympic team, it gives them a little bit of time to focus their mind elsewhere, and then have their more than likely spouses do all the arranging of getting their shit to a new area while they're away in Italy. So I think
It's so
it
stressful.
would be smarter to see trades now. Do I think we will? I was wrong the last time that I said that we weren't going to see anything major hit before the freeze for the holidays.
Yeah.
So if we're basing it off of what just happened, then I think we will see it before and not after. Well, major trades, I should say.
Because, I mean, realistically, we have essentially 4 weeks of trades
Mhm.
with the 2 weeks of the Olympic freeze. There's
Mhm.
like 4 weeks that movement can be made,
Right.
and there's a lot of teams in, the Western Conference that are below 500,
hmm
but there's also a huge battle in the Eastern Conference with like a 6-way tie for playoff spot.
Right.
Yeah, and I think with how unbelievably close the Eastern Conference is right now, I mean, you're going to want to make the moves as early as you can, right? Because if I'm the Panthers right now, yeah, time is running out. Time is running out. We got less than 40 games left to try to get back into the playoffs. Or if I'm the Anaheim Ducks or the Chicago Blackhawks, time is running out.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
I think a better question is not if we see the moves, it's who do we think is going to make the biggest splash? Because I think you almost have to make a move before the Olympic break, because normally that's not a thing we have to worry about. We haven't had to worry
Right.
about the Olympic break in a long time. So it's like, okay, we've got this time. We can really plan out our needs. Well, you're going to be going a couple weeks without actually having any on ice time with your players that are designated to your teams,
Mhm.
unless you're watching them in Italy. I mean, we saw it happen before the Christmas break. Like,
You know
huge
who
name
there
went
is
somewhere else.
big rumors about trades around right now is Artemi Panarin. I think if I'm the bread man, he has a no movement clause. So he is like the ultimate arbiter of his own fate. He will get to decide where he moves to. Um, if I'm him, I'm wanting to see that like now.
Oh
Get me
God,
out,
yeah.
get me somewhere new. Fuck New York. Send me to any of the teams that I choose to go to. If they're willing to talk, let's do it now and get this deal done ahead of the Olympics.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, at this point, I saw this funny reel I sent to you guys on the in the Instagram group. It was a girl in New York City going, "Hey, look, I found the Rangers bus," and it was just a garbage truck. And I was like, "That's
Mhm.
funny because they suck. We gave them an F grade if you didn't watch the episode of the Weekend Whistle, because they are fucking terrible." So
Yeah.
if I'm if I'm Panarin, I'm like, "Hey, I'm out. By the way, Adam Fox, Alexi Lafreniere, you guys might
Yeah.
want to do the same." Mika, if I'm Zibanejad, I'm like, hey, my watch says
And
I don't have a
Zibanejad
lot
has
of
been
time
doing
left.
like he has changed his game around because he was sucking ass there for a minute. And
He
he
was
came back,
had a
especially the
rough
Winter
year last year.
Classic. He did really well at the Winter Classic. So if I'm him, I want to trade on that because I don't see New York changing anytime soon. They're kind of falling down the shitter yet again. So I would, yeah, if I'm Mika, I'm like, find me a spot. Anywhere you
Literally,
can, find me a spot.
I'm willing to take anything at this point because I mean, so far in the season, he's got 41 points in 46 games. But the
Yeah.
only thing that sucks is you look at that plus minus, it's a minus 16. That
Which is
means, yeah, you're on the
crazy.
top line, but your fucking team is giving up way too many goals. And it's not, it's even worse now that Shesterkin's out. Jonathan Quick was our fucking Swiss cheese of the week because he gave up 13 fucking goals last week.
Yeah.
6 in one game.
6 in one game. So like the writing's on the wall for a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
But if I'm an organization right now that is really at the bottom of the barrel, this is about the time that it was at 2019 when the St. Louis Blues went from worst in the NHL to winning the Stanley Cup. It's possible. You just got to
Anything
make
can
these
happen.
moves. Anything can happen. So
Yeah.
Although I
I-
almost would say I think the Canucks are out of it. They've only won
Oh,
16
God, yeah.
games all season. Like I don't
I'd
see a possibility of a comeback. They've also only won 5 or lost 5 games in overtime. So they're not even it's all regulation decisions for
they've
them for
lost
the most
24
part.
regulation games. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
great. It's
not
going real
good.
bad.
It's going terrible.
Going real
Whereas
bad.
somehow,
So.
by the way, the Vegas, I know y'all already talked about a lot of this in your rating, but I can't get over the fact that the Vegas Golden Knights are first in the Pacific and they've only won 21 games. There are wild card contenders that have more wins than them. It's just because they managed to lose so goddamn always in overtime
They literally,
that,
yeah.
that
Well,
How bad is the
floating
Pacific
on that.
Division?
That's insane. The Pacific Division is insane right now because
It's
the Oilers have
so
won
bad.
23 games, but they've like not made
They've
it to
lost
overtime
most of them in
enough.
regulation.
Yeah. And the Kraken, same thing. They're at 21 wins, but they only have 8 overtime losses. And yet they're in third place. Like y'all, the Pacific Division is fucking insane right now. I do not understand it.
It is the worst division in the NHL.
Yeah, it's awful.
And we were leading that charge at one point, but then we stopped
I know,
we stopped
and then
playing hockey and we
You
started
sat down.
yeah,
Oh,
we're
I mean-
taking a nap.
But think
Yeah.
about it. Who's been going into that division and just giving it to them raw all season long?
I mean,
Colorado.
it's been well, Colorado's been
Is in the
fucking up
Central.
everyone in the NHL,
Yeah.
and they're in the Central Division. But the fact that they've only lost 4 fucking games this season in regulation is nuts.
Crazy.
Wild.
That's a crazy stat.
I mean,
That's why
Chris and I were talking about it the other day. We're like, as soon as they hit 100 points, which is going to happen, like it's probably going to happen 75% into the season, and they better get their X. As soon as they cross 100, it needs to be like, yeah,
Oh, they will.
you can just take the last 25% of the season off, heal up, rest. You got your spot. No one's going to
They
catch
won't though. I would advise against that because then you lose the momentum.
Yeah, that's
think
exactly what
so?
I had said is yeah.
Yeah.
If you're taking time off, you're losing the momentum you've already built, and then that'll fuck them majorly. I want my
Yeah.
players to play because I know that come fucking March, April, when it becomes playoff time, yeah, we're good. We're ready to
No,
go.
I will say after a certain point, that is when you start testing lines. That's when you start getting younger guys into the lineup every
Start
once in a
playing
while.
around
You
with it,
rest
yeah.
one key player a game, maybe, just
Yeah.
to give them like a day off. But that is, you can't be doing too much of that because, again, if you fuck with their mentality around winning, you're going to fuck it for a good long while. So you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
avoid that.
Absolutely.
So
Let us know in the comments your thoughts on if we see moves and who do you think is going to be the biggest mover. Obviously, when it becomes closer to trade deadline, we will do a little more talking about that. But I believe now it is time to talk about them naughty boys and them hurt boys.
Sure thing. We do have a naughty boy this week. We had a fine issued to Anton Lundell of the Florida Panthers for high sticking against Alexander Texier. On January 9th, he was assessed a $5,000 fine, which is the maximum allowable under the CBA. So that brings our total so far this season for fines to $193,449.65. So quite a big fine pot there. Now, for our Hurdy boys in Anaheim, nobody knew except for Troy Terry is out day to day with an upper body. So nothing.
Oh, it's
nothing
not
major.
like it's going to matter much anyway.
True. Boston only update is to Hampus Lindholm, who is expected to be back February 1st. In Buffalo, we have Michael Kesselring, who is still out with that ankle injury. He is updated to be back on January 17th, so he has a soon return. In Calgary, we have a few people. Martin Popisil is still out undisclosed. That's been updated to January 25th. And Blake Coleman is out until January 17th. In Carolina, we just have William Carrier, who is out lower body day to day. That is the only update we have there. In Chicago, few things, unfortunately. Connor Bedard out with an illness day to day. Teuvo Teravainen is out with an upper body day to day as well. So hopefully those both come back pretty soon.
They just
for
got
them.
Bedsy back too.
Yeah, I know, and he's already
He
out
just
again.
came back.
Hopefully it just says like illness, so I'm hoping it's, that flu that's been going around and not something that's potentially more longer lasting like COVID. But there is a pretty wicked flu strain out right now. So in Colorado, we do have a few people who have been updated. Mackenzie Blackwood, lower body, is saying he'll be back January 16th, and Joel Kiviranta is out with a lower body injury until January 25th. In Columbus, they fired their head coach, but also Eric Goodbranson is out with a hip injury until January 20th, and Mason Marchment is out January 13th with the upper body until the 17th, which after the crazy hit he took, what was that, last week? I am surprised that he is coming back so soon. That seems a little early, but hey, their doctors know better than I do, clearly.
And hockey players are built different.
True. Nobody knew in Dallas. Nobody new in Edmonton. In Florida, we have Brad Marchand out day to day. Matthew Tkachuk still out with that groin issue, buddy. Out until the 17th. Will he even make the playoffs, or are his nads going to prevent him from going to Italy? We don't know. We'll find out. Stay tuned. In Los Angeles, we have Joel Armia, who is out upper body day to day. Anze Kopitar is still out. They've updated him to be returning tomorrow. We will see if that holds true. In Minnesota, we have Joel Eriksson Ek out day to day, which is unfortunate for them. But we are supposed to be getting Zach Bogosian back on the 15th. In Montreal, we have Caden Gould, who is out with a groin injury until the 17th. Kirby Dach also out with a foot injury until the 17th. And Josh Anderson is listed as day to day. In Nashville, we have Jonathan Marchessault, who is out until the 17th with a lower body injury. In New Jersey, we have a few people, but the biggest and one of note is Zach McEwen, who is out for the rest of the season with his knee injury. So they have lost him permanently. And Stephen Nosen also out until February 3rd. So a little bit of an extended timeline there on his return. For the New York Islanders, we have Bo Horvat, who is out with a lower body injury until January 21st. For the New York Rangers, we have Adam Fox, who is out until January 31st, and Adam Edstrom out until January 31st, both with lower body injuries. Obviously, we know that Linus Ullmark is out for personal reasons. They're saying he could be back the 18th. There was a huge firestorm in the media over the last week about why Linus is out.
We
That
talked about
prompted
it
the Senators
on the
to
weekend
release a
whistle.
statement. Crazy. Absolutely insane. In Philadelphia, Bobby Brink is out with an upper body injury day to day, and Jamie Drysdale will be returning tomorrow, which is good for him because I think they probably need that. In Pittsburgh, we have just a couple people, but Erik Karlsson is the most notable of that. He has a lower body injury. He should be back on the 19th. And Rutger McGroarty, I just like saying his name, so that's why I'm adding him in here. He has a concussion. He'll be back on the 19th. In San Jose, we have a few people out. We have Will Smith out with an upper body injury until the 15th, and Philip Kurashev, again, upper body till January 20th. In Seattle, we just have Matt Murray, who he's been updated to be returning on the 17th. In St. Louis, we have Mathieu Joseph, who's out with an elbow injury until the 16th. In Tampa Bay, we have Braden Point out with a lower body injury until February 5th. That's kind of an extended timeout for him. And Ryan McDonough, undisclosed until January 16th. In Toronto, the only one new is Nicholas Robertson, who is out lower body day to day. Utah has Alexander Kerfoot, who is out upper body until January 17th. In Vancouver, we have Marco Rossi out with a lower body injury until January 27th, and Thatcher Denko, who should be back the 19th. In Vegas, we have Brett Howden out with a lower body injury until January 17th, as well as Braden McNabb, who will be returning on the 19th from an upper body injury, and Aiden Hill, who should be back on the 15th. In Washington, Tom Wilson is out with a lower body injury until January 15th, and so is Justin Sordoff, out until January 15th. Justin got robbed for 3 points, had a fucking rookie game where he got a hat trick and scored an additional 2 points on top of that for assists.
Damn.
Should have been fucking acknowledged, but whatever. Winnipeg, we have Morgan Barron, who is out with an upper body injury until January 15th, and Colin Miller out until January 15th as well. And that is our injury update for the week.
Well, thank you for that. I know saying Tom Wilson must break your heart, but
yeah, but it's fine. He'll get some rest ahead of the Olympics and do good work for Maul's team and earn them silver so that the U.S. can get gold.
Well, hey, that'll be pretty freaking spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Just saying if you were paying attention, Maul.
I'm paying attention. Very much so. And it's not going to
I'm
happen.
an idiot. Closed out my thing. Well, I'd say it is time for everyone's favorite segment, the Obscure NHL Player of the Week. Well, this one's not really super obscure. It's a player most people, I imagine, would know, but it'd be nice to hear his name again. Our player is Kevin Bieksa. This left or right-handed defenseman from Grimsby, Ontario, was drafted 151st overall in the 2001 draft by the Vancouver Canucks, where he spent the majority of his NHL career before spending the last 3 seasons with the Anaheim Ducks. In his 808 career games, he had 63 goals, 215 assists, and 1,124 penalty minutes. We love us a fucking menace on the ice. He retired in 2017, 2018. You can now see Kevin Bieksa on TSN broadcasts, mainly during Hockey Night in Canada. You can see his fucking doofy looking face. Bexy, we love you, bro. miss you in Orange. You're always forever a Ducks legend. But yeah, I mean, I'd say most of us in this generation know who Kevin Bieksa is. So
Yeah.
nice to bring up a name of a player who's a menace, but a damn class act.
Very nice.
You know, Maul's like, I have
like
no
it.
fucking idea who that is.
Not a fucking clue.
Sorry, D and I know who he is.
Yeah.
That's okay. I played it off like I did until you fucking had to call
You
me
did
out like that.
you did great, but you're just like,
Thanks.
well,
Son of a bitch.
think it's time for that trivia question again. It was when the Philly Flyers won their second Stanley Cup in 1975. It marked the first time that two expansion teams from the post-Original Six era met in the finals. Who was the team they beat? So I gave you the New York Islanders, the St. Louis Blues, the Buffalo Sabres, and the LA Kings.
I'm gonna turn it over to you first, Maul.
I'm gonna say the St. Louis Blues.
Okay. D.
I am going to say the LA Kings.
Wrong, both of you. You're stupid. No, I'm kidding. It was the Buffalo Sabres. The Blues made it to the finals in 68 and 70, or 68 through 70, losing all three times. The first two to the Canadiens, the second to the Bruins, or the third to the Bruins. The Flyers were the next expansion team to make it to the finals when they defeated the Bruins in 74, but the Bruins are an original six team. The New York Islanders didn't make their first appearance until 1980. And then the Minnesota North Stars in 81. Obviously, we all know what happened with the New York Islanders in 1980. They went on to win 4 straight Stanley Cups. The Islanders were nasty in the 80s. But yeah, the first, who would have thought the first post Original Six matchup for a championship would be the Flyers and the Sabres?
Yeah. That is actually
Weird.
surprising.
Yeah. But both great guesses. You were
Yeah.
you had the fact right that they were in the Stanley Cup final, Maul, but the Blues were not the correct answer, and the Kings didn't make their first one until 90.
Damn.
Their first one was with Gretzky.
Gretzky.
Really?
Their first
Interesting.
appearance was with Gretzky.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you guys knew that in the comments, let us know. If you were screaming at them for being stupid, don't do that because we will not listen to your nonsense.
Yeah.
But I will say that is it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. That notification bell, hit that. It lets you know anytime we upload anything new. If you are still here in the comments, well, it's been 4 seasons and no one's guessed my favorite color, so I don't even think these two know. So we're gonna keep the suspense going.
Dolphin Gray.
Yeah, Maul.
Vermilion.
Vermilion is crazy. Anything you guys want to add before we call it a show?
I don't think so.
I just want to say, check us out. We post 2 full-length videos a week, plus all these crazy short content. Check us out on all of our platforms. There's so much content out there. We do it for you guys.
True.
He gets
So
it.
love us.
He gets it.
Love us.
Yeah, I like I say at every time I host. Peace, love, puss suitor, and until next week, we will see all of you motherfuckers then in the face-off circle.